Okay, on Monday we started our notes on compound interest and the different things that go with it. And when we did our notes on Monday, I showed you how to put this in your calculator, and we worked on understanding order of operations and what needed to happen first, second, and third. But what we're going to do today is get more efficient at putting things in our calculator so we don't have to do it in different parts. We can do it all at once. So let's go back and look at number 1, and we are going to try and enter this equation into our calculator, but not doing it in steps, doing it all at one time. So in our calculator, we're going to do 3,000 parentheses 1 plus, and then the rate is 0.03 divided by n, which is the number of compounding periods. This time it was 12. And then this is all raised to the 12 times 10 power. And we hit enter, and there's our answer. And remember, we're rounding to the nearest hundredth, and you can see that is what we got. Okay, now look what happens on this one. On the second one, it changes the time. So instead of 10, it's 100. Look what we can do now. This equation that we've got in our calculator is exactly what we need. We just need that 10 to be 100. So what we can do instead is hit second, enter, and go back, and that gives us our equation, arrow to the right, and we can change that 10 to a 100, and now hit enter, and there's our answer, and we don't have to retype it all. Super convenient. Okay, let's look at the next one. So on this one, we're investing $5,280, and the rate is 0.042. And now n is the number of compounding periods. If it's quarterly, you divide the year into quarters, that's 4. Think about like a sporting event that's got quarters. There's 4 of them, so n is 4. Back here on 1 and 2 was monthly. Monthly is 12. On your homework, you're going to get one that's semi-annually. Semi-annually is twice a year. Anyway, you're going to do, it's going to be compounded 4 times a year for 10 years. So my equation is going to be 5,280 times 1 plus 0.042 divided by n, which is 4, raised to the n times t. Now, if you wanted to, we know 4 times 10 is 40. You could just say raised to the 40th power. You wouldn't have to say 4 times 10. Either way is going to get you the same thing. So 5,280, 1 plus 0.042 over 4 raised to the 4 times 10, which is 40th, and we get this answer. Now remember, it's dollars, so we're going to round to the nearest hundredth. And there's your answer. Now, when you're investing money, the more times each year that it can be compounded, the better you're off. So monthly, which is 12 times, is better than quarterly, which is 4. But quarterly, which is 4 times, is better than semi-annually, which is twice. But it would be ideal if you could continuously compound it and never stop compounding it. And when that happens, we have a new equation. Okay? A is going to represent the value after t years, just like it did before. This is going to be your ending value. P is going to be your initial investment. This is your starting value. So you start with P and invest it, and then in the end you have A. Now E looks like it's a variable, but E, just like pi, represents a number, and it's the same number every time. It's 2.71828. Okay, so this number is E, and you're gonna have the opportunity to watch a video later of how they derive E and where it comes from, but E is a specific number, and we'll learn how to put that in our calculator in just a second. So the rate, R is the rate, and then T is the time. Okay, so let's put our numbers in here. On the first one, we're investing $125,000, and the rate is 0.0475. And when we see this word continuously, we know that we have to use the E formula. So we know we're going to use that one, and this time we're going to do it over 15 years. So my equation is going to be 125,000 times E to the 0.0475 times t, which is 15. All right, so we're going to put this into our calculator, and we're going to say 125,000 times, now E, if you look on your calculator, there's a button on the left that says ln, and right above that in blue says E. ln stands for the natural log, and we'll use that after spring break. Right now we just want E, so we're going to hit second, and then natural log, and then in here we have 0.0475 times, and the number of years, which is 15, and we're going to hit enter. And that is how much money we make in this account. Now, yes, it's a lot of money, but we started with a lot. Again, remember we're rounding to nearest hundredth because it's money. So on the second one, everything stays the same. It's still compounded continuously, so you're still going to use this E function, but we are going to invest it for 30 years this time. We'll double the amount of time. So our equation is the same, but now this part here is going to change to 30. But remember, we don't have to retype that. We're just going to hit second, enter, and it'll give me the equation again. I'll scroll to the right, change it to 30, and hit enter, and there's my number. And that is how we do these problems. So again, if it says monthly, quarterly, or semi-annually, then you're going to use this first formula. But if it says the word continuously, you're going to use the second formula. On your quiz and then later on the test, you will be given the formulas. You are just going to have to figure or have to know what number to plug in where.